Hello, I'm Hansi Parchment. You're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.
I think the uniqueness of the Reggae Girls is they embody the national motto of Jamaica, which is out of many one people. So when you look at the entirety of the Jamaica squad, you have dark-skinned girls, mixed-race girls, girls who have black and Asian in them. You also have the homegrown players, so like your Bunny Shaw, your Konya Plummer, your Den Blackwood. So what that means in terms of from a grassroots perspective is girls who are born in Jamaica can look at a Bunny Shaw and hear that authentic accent and say, you know, if Bunny can make it, then so can I. Once you hear that authenticity, that raw Jamaican accent, they should be able to look at a Bunny Shaw who's now our captain to say, if Bunny can do it, especially if you come from the same community, the same parish as her, if she can do it, then so can we.
I want to give a big bless up to the Reggae Girls out there. They ain't believing us. John did. Reggae Girls, keep winning, keep inspiring. I know you're going to be great out there. World Cup. Sadella Marley, number love. Bless up from DJ Khaled.
And I'm representing for the Reggae Girls. You know what I mean? Big up on yourself every time. Especially if you're qualifying for the World Cup back to back. You know what I mean? Sidela, big up yourself. One love every time. You know the thing go. Blessing off a flow like a river. Blessing off a flow like a river. What the Reggae Girls do? Left them name night earth like a queen. Me have to big up the top soccer team. You know Massacre represent. Jamaica support you every time. You know the thing go.
Hello, I'm Hansi Parchment. You're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.
I feel like I'm from UK, you know.
See the moonlights on the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Talawa TV is in the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Got a corner on the telephone. Yeah, this is the Ocean of the Messenger, and you're watching Talawa TV with the host and best. Davis, take it away.
My Talawers, how are you all? Good afternoon, good evening, possibly good morning. All depends on where you are in the world. If you are out and about, I hope that you make it home safe and sound, because getting home is a underrated blessing. Before I forget my manners, guys, I want to check up on a few of my Talawers because I haven't seen them since my return. It's been about a little over a week since I've made myself or gotten myself back on live stream, doing regular back-to-back live streams, and I've seen a few of the regulars, but not as regular as I would like to see them. Of course, I've seen the guys there in the comment section on back-to-back nights, so I won't be bringing up your names in my brief little introduction because I've already given you guys my love and appreciation. I will be sending a warm shout out to Rochelle, Super Nick, Tia. Those are three of my, I would say, only female supporters. So I do want to give them a warm big up, and also Miss Denise McFarlane as well. As I said, I don't have a lot of female supporters. So the ones that I do have, I do want to keep them close because they mean something to me. I hope that you're all in good health. I hope that yourself and your loved ones are all in good health. And also little TJ. TJ is probably back at school. I hope you're all right, TJ. I hope school is treating you well. Don't be a stranger, but please, you're doing the right thing. School comes first. So TJ, don't be in any rush to catch up on my live streams. Let this be the last thing that you do on your to-do list. Okay, young TJ. And also Mr. Tejas Scott as well, one of my long-standing Talawers. I've not seen him in my comment section. I'm a little bit concerned, but I do hope that he's all well. Also, Ricky is a soldier there in Jamaica. To my surprise, he's also a long-standing Talawa of mine. So those guys that I've just named, I've not seen them, or maybe I've just caught glimpses of them here and there. It's out of the norm is what I'm saying, and I am thinking of them. I hope, as I said, that you are all in good health. Okay, let me just turn a brief eye to the comment section. Big up yourself. How you doing? I hope you guys haven't forgotten your manners. Do go ahead and hit the like button if you've not done so already. If you are new to the channel, please use your manners and kindly go ahead and subscribe. You will not regret it. So tonight's live stream, it pretty much came out the blue, guys. One of my subscribers, I was having a dialogue with him earlier on in the day, and he unintentionally wanted me to talk about Ivan Toney. So tonight's live stream was actually going to be about Cuba for Lee and Ivan Toney for my other subscriber who I thought was new, but apparently he's been here from the birth of the channel. So big up to those guys. So it's kind of taken a twist, but it's a positive twist, guys. I'm going to sound like a broken record. Let me just get this out the way. If we can drag and bash the Reggae Boys when they are doing something bad or negative, surely we can stand by them and give them heaps of praise and throw flowers at their feet when they're doing something great, right? And that is what I'm going to be focusing on tonight. The focus of my live stream tonight is to focus on the Reggae Boys. They've made a tough call recently, guys, a brutal call recently. As an outsider looking on, I do recognize the call that they've done. I think I would say for the most part, the majority of the squad have had to make a big call. It might be a costly one. I don't know the Reggae Boys on a personal level, but they might have made a costly call. I hope not, because I do think it comes from a place of good. But what I do want us to do as the 12th man, if there is ever a time to be the ultimate 12th man, trust and believe today is the day to change those narratives. We're going to dissect all of that. But the first part of the show is a special one. And actually, I'm not going to spend too long, maybe 5 minutes talking about Mr. Ivan Toney. Again, this one is actually from a request of my subscriber. And you know how it goes. As I said, you guys keep me relevant. Without you guys, my channel is nothing. So if you want me to talk about something, then of course I have to talk about it. Even if I'm not prepared, I have to make myself prepared. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive right into it. And we're going to talk about Mr. Ivan Toney for a couple of minutes. And then we're going to crack on and talk about the meat of the matter, the Reggae Boys. Right. So I'm sure you guys would have been made aware. I hope my background noise isn't too much for you guys because it is quite loud where I'm at. So I hope my background noise, let me just do something my end, guys. I hope the background noise isn't driving you guys crazy. It is driving me mad, I can tell you that much. Right, so let's talk about Mr. Ivan Toney. You should be able to see something on your screen there, guys. Let me go back over to transfer market. Let's get rid of that because we don't want no copyright strike. Now, there was a conversation I held earlier on with a subscriber of mine. Took up maybe the majority of my day, back and forth, on and off. And there was this question. Apparently, some weirdos out there are questioning whether Ivan Toney's England career is over. And it kind of irked me a bit. And I was like, why is this conversation even a thing? Because for me, yes, he's no longer playing for Brentford. He's made a transfer, and it's a transfer that I think is well worth it. But I think the treatment that Ivan Toney is getting at the moment, or maybe it might be treatments because it might continue on for some time. Hopefully not. But it's a gentle reminder here, guys. For me, it's a classic case of a black man's success and wealth bothering the minority. And I'm saying the minority because I do not believe for a second that it's the majority. I think it bothers certain people that Mr. Ivan Toney is unapologetic. His inner beliefs that he has, that confidence that he has, troubles certain people because for them, you're not supposed to be black and confident. And when you combine the two, being black and confident, be it man or women, they see it as a threat. And when they see the threat, they want to silence you. I asked you guys a question on last night's live stream. What does Mr. Ivan Toney, Boza, and Eddie have in common? You guys didn't answer that. I'm still waiting for an answer. If you don't answer it, I'm going to have to answer it myself. I don't want to, but if you guys don't answer it, I will answer it myself. Perhaps not on this live stream, but maybe on another live stream. Again, let me ask you the question. What does Ivan Toney, Mr. Shaman Nicholson, and Eddie and Kittia have in common? They have this one trait in common that pisses a lot of people off, and I absolutely love it, and I hope they continue to piss the minority off, or maybe the majority. I'm loving it from a distance. Now, fix your eyes on the information in front of you. Clearly, I'm looking at transfer market. And it goes without saying, in case you guys don't know, Ivan Toney with his latest secure the bag deal that's pissed off a lot of people. What it means is he is now in the top 5 bracket of top earners within the for the English players. So as things stand, the only Englishman that's making more money than Ivan Toney is Harry Kane. Harry Kane is on something like 406,614 per week in comparison to Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney is on 403 pounds. Sorry, 400. Yeah, 400 and sorry there, guys. 403 pounds. What am I talking about? 403 pounds. 400, yeah, 403 pounds. For some reason, I thought I said £4, 3 pence. Yeah, 403 £100,000 per week. Hurricane is on 406, over 406,000. Over £406,000 per week, and making up that list is Jude Bellingham, Raheem Sterling, and also Marcus Rashford. Going back to the table there in front of you guys, it bothers them, as I said, to see that a young black man is now tasting wealth that he has worked his ass off for, by the way. And that's the reason why I've given you guys that table in front of you, so that you know that I'm not just making up things to support the young black man that I'm talking about. So if you see, look at Ivan Toney's career. If you're not familiar with the Ivan Toney's career in terms of his pathway and how he got to Belgium, and then, sorry, not Belgium, Brentford, subsequently to his new club here, and they play in Saudi Arabia. That's the name there of his new club. Saying that to say, let us backtrack. I believe this latest move from Ivan Toney is absolutely worth it, because the table doesn't lie. The trajectory of his career has gone from strength to strength. He's worked from the bottom all the way up. So he's played at levels like your League One, which you guys can see there in front of you. He's played in the Premier League 2. He's played in League 2. He's played in Championship, and most notably to you guys, he's also played in the Premier League. So a lot of people are looking at him and saying, no chance, he shouldn't be playing for England, and he should not play for England again. And I'm kind of scratching my head, because I'm looking at these minority freaks and I'm thinking to myself, when did you suddenly gather some moral compass? Where did this moral compass come from? Like, did you just pull it out of thin air? Because I don't want to draw comparisons with the two, but the reaction to a Jordan Henderson's move to the Saudi League and Ivan Toney is somewhat different. And I'm not going to call a duck, but if it quacks like a duck and it looks like a duck, then guess what, guys? It's a duck. I'm not here to put words into your ears, but I'm pretty sure you guys get the gist of where I'm going right now. Jordan Henderson's case is obviously slightly different. Yes, they were both frowned upon, but they were frowned upon for different reasons. Saying that to say, get off the young man's back. He has managed to secure the bag, and rightly so. He fully deserves it. People need to realize that footballers are not just taking care of themselves, they're taking care of their young family. They're probably taking care of extended family. From my research, I believe Ivan Toney has family back in St. Vincent, and also subsequently Jamaica as well. So who knows, he probably does charitable work for his family back in St. Vincent. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he did do something of that ilk. I think it's in relation to maybe some tropical storms or hurricane. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I've seen him giving back to St. Vincent in the past. Now, as it relates to Jamaica, my subscriber asked me about Ivan Toney possibly switching to Jamaica again, based on what the minority are saying, the bitter minority that is. And I will probably need someone in the comment section to check me on this, because based off outside of my research, I had to do my research to kind of back up what I initially thought. Unless the FIFA rules have changed, guys, from what I understood is that once you have played 3 competitive games for your respective country, you are then tied, right? Until a certain number of years. I don't know if that has changed from what I knew back then. But saying that, from looking at the table in front of you, with regards to appearances for England, he has made 3 appearances there in the Euro. Friendlies don't count because it's not a competitive fixture. But he also played played in the European qualifiers as well. So in total, that's looking like already four competitive matches there in the bag. I will express what I've already said to my subscriber, in that I don't think Ivan Toney would want to play for England. I think he's made his expressions quite clear that he does want to play for the Three Lions, and I'm not going to sit here and knock him. He has to do what works for him, whatever floats his boat. I will say, I'm going to give you guys a little bit glimmer of hope, because some of you love hope. I will remind you, hope does kill, so be mindful of the hope that you consume. But if we can look back and nitpick here, let's just say perhaps if you're an Ivan Toney, you might be side-eyeing England with regards to how they manage the betting scandal. You might think, hey, when it comes to serious crimes, serious incidents like, let's say, discriminatory incidents in relation to racism, you're not as harsh. But when it comes to betting, you came down on me like a ton of bricks. So maybe if you're an Ivan Toney and you want to nitpick, you might say, actually, I'm done with you. If you're going to be bothered about me making money for my family, to hell with you. So there's your little bit of hope for those of you who love hope so much, right? So enough of Ivan Toney. I'm going to go over and talk about our Reggae Boys. Should I go ahead and bring up the squad list, guys? Let's go ahead and see if I can bring up the squad list. Talk about one of our favorite subjects, the Reggae Boys. Listen, I don't want to disappoint you, and I don't want to waste your time. I'm going to let you know, if you're not used to my channel, if you're new to my channel, this is not the place for negativity. I use my channel to decompress. I use football as my escapism to get out of reality and all the stresses that comes with it. So saying that to say, this is not the platform where you're going to come and listen to me tear down the players. So if you're just tuning in to hear that, my friend, you've made the wrong turn. There's nothing scary on this channel. So sorry, I don't want to disappoint you, but you might want to leave whilst you can. Right, so let's go ahead and look at the guys there that were called up. Before I give you guys that information there pertaining to the Reggae Boys and how they've had to handle what I think is a tough call. And let me just go to say, before I deep dive into this topic matters to me. It might not matter to you, but it's something that I have picked up on from an outsider looking on, hence me sharing my thought process with you guys. So it might not matter to you, but it does matter to me. I'm not here to waste my time. I'm not here to create content for content's sake. If I give you guys something, then trust and believe that it's coming from the heart. It's coming from a good place, right? So for those of you who are out the loop, let's go ahead and give that reading of the Reggae Boys 23-man squad with the replacement of Mr. Leon Bailey. We're going to do things the correct way. So that means we're going to start from the back and make our way to the front. Between the sticks, our selection consists of Andre Blake, the skipper, Boyce Clark, Jamali Waite. In defense, we have Dexter Lambakisa, Deshaun Bernard, Greg Lee, Damian Lowe, the vice captain, Michael Hector, Richard King, Amari Bell, Joel Latibode, and Ethan Pinnock. And in midfield, we have Casey Palmer, Karoy Anderson, Bobby Reed, John Russell, and Adrian Reed Jr. Up top, we have the selection of Shaman Nicholson, Norman Campbell, Mikel Antonio, Damari Gray, Kaheem Dixon, and in replacement of Leon Bailey, we have Jamal Lowe. So I'm hoping that you guys have all caught up to speed. Right, so I was looking at life in camp, and life in camp for the Reggae Boys looks quite brilliant, doesn't it? Looks quite peaceful. But for me, as an outsider looking on, it was a gentle reminder that pictures can paint 1,000 different stories. I'm not a footballer. I've always told you guys I cannot play football to save my life. I was born with 2 left foot. I was probably the only human being on the planet with 2 left foot, right? So I can't play the beautiful game. I am, however, a human being, right? So although I can't play football, although I've never played at any level, I do think I have the ability and the tools to put myself in these players' position and kind of picture whatever it is they're going through. Now, as I said, the headline does speak for itself. Reggae Boys handle tough call, right? And this, what I'm about to share with you guys, it might not affect the majority of the squad. Actually, no, I think it does affect the majority of the squad because there's a couple of youngsters there who it probably doesn't even have a knock-on effect on. Now, for me, unless I am corrected otherwise, I will possibly have to reach out to a footballer and ask them for their take on what I'm about to share with you guys. But for me, this time of year, guys, and Christmas has to be the most difficult time of year if you are a professional athlete, especially if you are a footballer. And I'm going to add emphasis on those young footballers there who are young parents. Now, I did allude to this on my last stream. One moment, guys. I did allude to this on my last stream there with regards to the back to school. Back to school took place, is actually currently still taking place for the much of the UK. So some kids went back on the 1st, which I believe is, when was the 1st? Was Monday the 1st, guys? Let me go and check my calendar. No, Sunday was the 1st. So as of Monday, filtering through to this week, right? Kids have been going back to school. And it kind of made me observe the Reggae Boyz a little bit. And I was looking at them and I was thinking that this time of year is probably heavily emotional for them because they don't have the privilege. And some people might look at privilege and think, oh, laughable because of footballers' salary. People think because footballers are on a high amount of salary, then that means they don't have emotions and we shouldn't treat them as human beings. I'm not one of those people. But I looked at this time of the year and I looked at the timing of the international break, and it just reminded me of the greed that comes with football, right? And the fact that these players are human beings and they have to make tough decisions. Now, the school year brand new school year would have started off. And for a lot of the Reggae Boyz, although they're in training and they're grinning from ear to ear and they're smiling about, like I said, pictures tell a different story. They can tell you 1,000 different stories. The new school year, and with the Reggae Boyz being in camp, what that means is potentially a lot of them most certainly would be missing out on the start of a new year. Potentially they would have missed out on the start of a new school for their princesses and their prince. Saying that to say, these guys are in camp and they are, without a shadow of a doubt, missing out on special moments. Unless you're across the pond like a Blakey and his family. I believe from my family, they would have started back to school like a month ago, so like last month. So this doesn't necessarily apply to Blakey, for example, or a captain. But for the guys there that are based in Europe and specifically in England, it will have a knock-on effect on them. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself that this position that they're in, this privileged position that they're in, has a knock-on effect, because subsequently not being there for those special moments would inevitably put a strain on the mother of their child. The mother of their kids, who are having to do it all by themselves. I mean, even if you get a nanny, or even if grandma and grandpa are contributing to your taking care of your child, it's not exactly the same, is it? It's not the same. So this unique position that they're in, having to choose work over family, and I'm sure that's a difficult decision for some. The easiest decision to make would be for them to say, I'm unavailable due to personal reasons. But I do want us to recognize the fact that they have sacrificed. Again, from an outsider looking on, they are sacrificing their relationships with their loved ones, or for the sake of their country. They are missing out on personal moments that they cannot get back. They're not going to get back not being there for the first day of school. They're not going to get back for being there for their princess or their princess brand new day at a brand new school. They're not going to be there when their young one probably come home over the space of the next couple of days. Unfortunately, they might, let's say, have had a bad day at the office. Worst case scenario, a bad week at school, and all they want is their daddy's hugs. They're not going to be there to give their little loved ones hugs and kisses. It's just not possible. So all this talks about footballers earning a ton load of money and etc. All of that is nonsense, because it's a given. It comes with the industry. Football is a £1 billion industry, $1 billion industry. Of course, they're going to be making loads of money because they're the ones going out there and slaving out themselves. But with all of that money that comes with the men's side of the game, not so much on the women's side of the game, they still can't do what their family would want them to do, which is to be in two places at once. It is not possible. Saying that to say that was something that I picked up on. I know what our fan base are like. I know how brutal we can be, but at this time of the year, back to school and Christmas time, guys, I'm asking you guys to just let's keep the criticism football related. Let's remember that yesterday's result is irrelevant. I am not a footballer, but I do have the privilege of talking to the odd footballer here and there, and their mindset and our mindset has to be different. Win, lose, or draw, come Saturday, the day after the Cuba match, Friday's result is done and dusted. They can't afford to carry the feelings from Friday's result into the Honduras match because they've already shot themselves in the foot. God forbid if we go ahead and lose against Cuba, which I don't think should happen. Cuba have irked me, and they deserve to be battered and bruised because they have irked me. I'm gonna tell you guys maybe on tomorrow live stream why they've rattled me. And I want to focus on another reggae boy, which I think he deserves an arm around his shoulder. And I'm strictly going off what we were told some months back. I'm not trying to be intrusive in the young man's life. I'm saying young man, but I think he's probably older than myself. I'm not trying to intrude on his personal life because I think people deserve their privacy. I love my privacy, and so I want to extend that to other people. But I do want to focus on something that he shared with us. And once information goes out there in the public space, then inevitably it becomes public interest. So touching on those tough calls and missing out on those wonderful moments, I do want to share something with you guys. I don't know Mr. Mikel Antonio on a personal level, but some months back he was quite transparent with us. He did like this sit down interview, guys, where he was extremely open and honest. And yes, it is a little bit dated. Again, I don't know Mr. Mikel Antonio, but I am going to share something just to give you guys a gentle reminder. And in case you can't hear the audio, I will echo what Mr. Mikel Antonio said in this potent interview, and listen carefully. And if you don't know what to take from it, I'm going to tell you what to take from it. But in summary, what I'm asking you all to do is to be there for Mr. Mikel Antonio and the rest of his teammates, right? So let me stop waffling and let's go ahead and play that interview there. In the next 3 seconds, you should be able to hear the interview. Once I stop talking, you'll be able to hear the interview. If you can't hear it, let me know in the comment section. All right?
I started therapy. In that period, I started therapy because I was really struggling. And how I grew up, it was never a thing. I thought therapy for crazy people, therapy for people who can't control themselves and stuff like that. But therapy changed my life. At first, it's awkward. I'm not going to lie. Literally, you sat in the room, someone's there and goes, "How are you?" And your natural response is,
Fine.
"Fine." I'm all right. And he's like,
End of the session.
So he's like, "So why are you here? Like, what's getting you down?" I was like, to be honest, like, football, I'm struggling with football. I split up with my missus. My football was always my getaway from anything that happened in my life. My dad died and stuff like that. I went to football and I could black it out for the 2 hours that I was there or the 4 hours that I was there. So I was just really struggling. And then I sat there and I spoke to him. And then I'm a person where I'd never cry. And as I was talking to him, I just burst into tears. It was uncontrollable. And I'm not going to lie, that gave me some type of relief because I normally hold everything in and push it down. And that gave
Pause it there because some of you don't have no manners. I mean, who raised you? Please do go ahead and hit the like button, guys. What time is it? It's almost 12:15 a.m. here in London, and I've given up my precious time. And some of you can't even do the honorable things such as just hit the like button. All right, so the enemy doesn't want me to succeed. Someone's fighting against me tonight, guys. Let's go ahead. I'm not sure where it ended, but I've had to just luckily I have a backup plan. It's always good to do these things with backup plans, guys. Not sure where that one ended, but I think it's safe that I think it's safe to say that I should go ahead and play that audio there for Mr. Mikel Antonio. Sorry, I don't know what just happened, but the devil is working real hard tonight, but he can't stop my shine. I'm gonna go ahead and play that audio there from Mr. Mikel Antonio again. Right? Sit
That gave
tight.
me some real nice relief where I was like, oh, and then like my chest felt like clear. And I just done sessions once a week, every week, just speaking to him, trying to get everything off my chest. I started therapy. In that period, I started therapy because I was really struggling. And how I grew up, it was never a thing. I thought therapy for crazy people, therapy for people who can't control themselves and stuff like that. But therapy changed my life. At first, it's awkward. I'm not going to lie. Literally, you sat in the room, someone's there and goes, "How are you?" And your natural response is,
Fun.
"Fine." I'm all right. And he's like,
End of the session.
so he's like, "So why are you here? Like, what's getting you down?" I was like, to be honest, like football, I'm struggling with football. I split up with my missus. My football was always my getaway from anything that happened in my life. My dad died and stuff like that. I went to football and I could black it out for the 2 hours that I was there or the 4 hours that I was there. So I was just really struggling. And then I sat there and I spoke to him. And then I'm a person where I'd never cry. And as I was talking to him, I just burst into tears. It was uncontrollable. And I'm not going to lie, that gave me some type of relief because I normally hold everything in and push it down. And that gave me some real nice relief where I was like, oh, and then like my chest felt like clear. And I just done sessions once a week, every week, just speaking to him, trying to get everything off my chest.
Right there, guys. So let me just gloss
I
over
started
and
therapy. In that
summarize.
period, I started therapy because
All right, Mikel, we
I
heard you. We heard you, son. All right, guys, let's just summarize what Mikel Antonio said, right? Because it does tie into what I said earlier on, towards the early part of the show pertaining to standing by these guys because they've had to make a tough call. The information, the audio that I just played to you guys is out there. It's not like I'm being intrusive in Miss Mikel Antonio's life. But to summarize some of the stuff that he said, like I said, he's been open and as honest as ever, and he didn't need to. He touched on basically splitting with his missus. Now, I don't know him on a personal level, so I don't know if they've managed to mend things over. But I do believe, based on stuff that he's shared in the past on social media, that his missus is the mother to his kids. And what that means, it goes back to what I was saying to you that, again, without knowing Mikel Antonio on a personal level, this is probably the first time in his career where he has had to basically miss out on those special moments like coming together as a family and taking care of his fatherly duties, like taking his kids to school and so on, or helping to see them off to school. So the luxury that comes with being a footballer, unfortunately, it can't put you in two places at one time. For Mikel Antonio, unless he's managed to smooth things over with his missus, he's probably, I don't want to speak for the man, but he's probably feeling a bit more emotional than he probably usually would, because at this time of the year he's probably a little bit more sensitive for him. You know, he's not there making breakfast for his little kids, he's not there to take them to school and so on. So it is probably playing on his mind. It's probably playing on the rest of his teammates' mind. Again, this time of the year, I do believe it is highly emotional for these footballers when it comes to international break, interfering with school, and also Christmas as well. We all love a bit of Boxing Day fixture, but as footballers, it probably sucks, to be honest with you, because they're probably working on Christmas Day just that we can get our precious little poxy 3 points. So that is what I have to say pertaining to the Reggae Boyz. I hope you guys found that invaluable because I actually thought that it was, but maybe I'm being a little bit biased. I'm going to press on with the second part of the show, and I am going to be talking about the Reggae Girls. Where should I start with the Reggae Girls? We are spoilt for choices with the Reggae Girls, aren't we? Okay, so let's see if I can go onto my X. Let's see if I can go over onto my X. I've seen you guys there in the comment section. I'm trying to speed things up. I was aiming to do this within an hour, but I think I'm going to go over the hour. Apologies if my background is a little bit noisy. Let's go ahead and switch my shared screen. It might not be noisy for you guys, but it is most certainly noisy for myself, which is why I'm having to increase my volume. You should be able to see this one on screen. Miss Khadija Bunny Shaw, guys, our captain, Miss Khadija Bunny Shaw, is a back-to-back Ballon d'Or nominee. Yes, the young girl from Jamaica. I can't call her a young girl no more because she's a fully grown woman. The lady, I should say, from Jamaica, our very own Khadija Bunny Shaw is a back-to-back Ballon d'Or nominee. To gloss over some of the stuff that we've already discussed on the show, I'm going to sound like a bit of a broken record. She is the PFA Women's Player of the Year. I feel like they need to rename that because it's such a tongue tie. She also made it into the PFA WSL Team of the Year, which is the Women's Super League, the top tier of women's football in England. She made it into the Team of the Year. She also secured the WSL Golden Boot. Unfortunately, she picked up a untimely injury towards the final hurdle of last season's campaign. And I'm going to say subsequently, I think that played a pivotal role in Manchester City missing out on the league title to Chelsea in Emma Hayes' final season with the Blue Half of London, because Chelsea went on to winning the league purely based off goal difference. So that's that there as it relates to Miss Khadija Bunny Shaw, back-to-back Ballon d'Or nominee. I hope she can go all the way. I think it would have helped her though had she won the league with Manchester City. I think it would have helped her. But we'll see. We'll see. If I had anything to do with those votes, you already know who that trophy would belong to. But unfortunately, they wouldn't dare put me anywhere near the Ballon d'Or ballot, if there is one. That is. I'm going to play another audio there for you guys. A special audio. You guys have a special audio for you all. And it's about a player that I spoke about. She made a move from one Japanese club to another. I'm not going to say her name, so you will have to listen carefully. I was always concerned about her because I'm always nervous for these reggae girls when they move on to playing in leagues where maybe the league or the language spoken in that country isn't their mother tongue. I do get worried when I see our players playing in leagues where diversity as a Black woman is lacking. So I'm going to stop talking now because I think I'm talking too much. And I'm going to go ahead and play this special audio. And when I say it's special because it is tailor-made for you guys, the Reggae Girls fans. So go ahead and give it a listen.
Hey Crystal, shout out to Talawa TV. Vian Sampson here. I'm here for my second season in Japan. I really love it here as it suits my low-key personality. I feel really settled at my new club. It feels like it's a really good match. We kicked off the season this week with a cup game and I was really happy to get my debut and contribute with a goal. I hope to make goal scoring a more regular occurrence. Stay blessed, speak soon, bye. Hey Crystal, shout out to Talawa TV. Vian Sampson here. I'm here for my second season in Japan. I really love it here as it suits my low-key personality. I feel really settled at my new club. It feels like it's a really good match. We kicked off the season this week with a cup game and I was really happy to get my debut and contribute with a goal. I hope to make goal scoring a more regular occurrence. Stay blessed, speak soon, bye. Hey Crystal.
No need to play a third time, is there? The second time it actually went on a loop. So I do apologize for that. So all of you out there, your Sampson fans, you've received the latest on one of your favorite players. And I hope that that does you well. Next, I have another one of your favorite players. But I'm not sure if you guys are ready for her. I don't know. I kind of feel like you're not ready. I don't know, guys, in the comment section. You're gonna have to let me know if you're ready for one of your favorite players. And it is so funny. I reached out to her and I asked for a voice note similar to what Sampson did. But she declined the voice note and she said she wants to speak to you guys live and direct. So if you're not feeling special, you should feel special because someone out there definitely thinks quite highly of you guys and your second time and your I should say and your time. And I hope that you guys can give her a very warm welcome. And it is none other than Miss Tiffany Cameron. I see new head, new Tiff. Did
Hey,
I get that
whoop, whoop,
right?
whoop, whoop, whoop. Brand new Tiff. I've been home now for about 2 months, and just
Yeah.
a lot of great things have happened since I've been home. I was able to meet Ding Dong. That was like a blessing in disguise. Yeah, and I've been having some good time with my family, my friends. Just revamping everything. So you guys are gonna get an entertaining Tiff for the rest of the year and 2025.
You look refreshed, you look energized. How's the summer treating you?
Really good, actually. Like I've said, I've been with my family and my friends this entire time. I've been training as well too. I'll be back in Spain, thank goodness, next week. It took a very long time to get my visa situated because, of course, I signed a deal with Real Betis for 2 years, and there's a little bit of delays in the paperwork and stuff. So I'm really, really happy that I have to score more goals than last season.
I want to touch on it because you've already touched on it. I did give the guys in the comment section a vague update on your visa situation. So for those of you who didn't catch wind pertaining to what Tiffany has said, all is done and she will be making her way over to Spain in the next couple of days to link up with her teammates. But before we get to that meat of the matter, I want to know how invaluable is it to spend time with your loved ones, more precisely your family in Canada?
Yeah, like you touched on before, as a Black woman playing in a foreign country, it gets challenging sometimes. So it's great to be around like my family and my friends, like just be familiarized with everything, and just have that love. It's just a different type of feeling when I come home, and I miss it all the time when I'm away. But I'm very close with also my fans as well too, for a reason, because I know that they love the Jamaican culture, and I like to um, thank them as well too, because they always send me nice messages while I'm away from home, and I really really appreciate that. So being home is just, I'm filled with love, support, genuine people. I think that's a huge thing for me, to be around people who love and appreciate me for me. And yeah, it's great, and I feel like I'm I've been home for this long for a reason. And it's also made me even hungrier now to go back and do better than last season. So, of course, I've scored 6 goals last season. It was the most on our team, but I can do more than that. My goal now is to score double the amount. So I've had enough time to rest and be with my family and my friends. And I know when I get back, it's crunch time. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss the first game this weekend, but I mean, it could be worse. I could miss longer than that. So I'm grateful that at least I'll be back by next week, and I have some catching up to do. Of course, I have to get my game fitness back, because of course I can be home and I could be at the gym almost every day, and I could be getting touches on the ball individually. But it's a different category when you are around a team dynamic. So I just need a little bit of time to get back on my feet in that aspect. But the nice thing is that my coach knows exactly what I can do, and he knows like how he can depend on me. And our team actually is in a better place now, so I'm happy about that.
You've said so much. I don't think you actually need me here because you've kind of like you've, you've answered every single question that I was going to ask you.
Hey, you know
That
how
was
it
a
is with
brilliant
me.
response. No, I like it, but then I'm like, now comes the improvisation. Now I have to actually, yep, I just have to bin all my questions because they were all answered, guys. I wanna ask you a question, but I want to ask you a question, but in all honesty, I don't think the timing is right for the question because I feel like that should be for a separate live stream. So instead, I'll ask you a different type of question. I want to know like what's it like as a black woman going to these leagues where not necessarily the Spanish league because the Spanish league is definitely growing in diversity, but you've played in some leagues where I'm just like, oh, I am worried for her. Like, I hope she's okay. Like, what's it like when you go to these Spanish leagues and you don't even have like someone to braid your hair on your doorstep? That's a big thing, by the way, guys. Like, not having someone who can braid your. That's a serious problem.
Hey,
See, me, Tiff. Before I moved to my place now, when I was like looking for places, I'm like, if I can't get hard food like plantain, yam, banana, I'm not moving there. I'm not moving there because you're not catering for me.
you would be
So what?
surprised actually, because
Yeah.
everywhere I've gone, I've found someone who could braid my hair. Everywhere I've gone, and you know what's? It's interesting that what you've just said, because in Hungary, I thought the same thing. I'm like, like it's gonna be very difficult for me to find someone to braid my hair. Found it within like I would say the first couple weeks I was there. I saw some lady. She had her hair nicely braided. I said, "Oh, where'd you get your hair braided? It looks great." And she gave me the number. I had my link from then on, and also too, Hungary has some Jamaican food as well too. Like I bought some
What?
ackee. I said, what? I said, what? In
What?
Budapest, there's
In
some ackee in
Hungary?
Budapest. Yeah, so it's crazy.
You
You
can't
you
be
you.
hungry if you go hungry then.
Yeah, yeah. So it's crazy what I strongly believe it doesn't matter where you go in the world. If you use your voice, you speak, you're not afraid to hear no, then you can discover so many things. So that's what I've done. I'm like, well, I got to find someone who can braid my hair, or even before I move to a different country, if I know someone who has lived there before, I ask around and say, hey,
I
do you have
like
any
that.
recommendations and stuff?
I
So
like
that's
that.
something that I've done my entire career, and I've never had issues with that.
I like that. Long may it continue. Now, as an outsider, looking on, you seem like you have a wonderful, tight knit family. It does appear that you have a close relationship with your mom and your sister. What do you miss
Absolutely.
most about your mom and your sister when you're away?
I just miss their presence. There's there's one thing like video calling them and exchanging photos and everything like that, but just their presence and their energy. Nothing can replace that. So I always try and jump on a phone call with my mom. I talk to her a lot, especially throughout the week and stuff. Tell her the good and the bad, and she always has some comforting words for me. And my sister's always there. She always has some funny stories for me, talking about my nephew and everything, and sending a bunch of photos and videos. So yeah,
Does he like football?
yeah, yeah. Oh, I was playing. I should have took a video yesterday. I was playing football with my nephew yesterday. He's like,
Oh, bless him.
Auntie Tiffany, come fast, because I was talking to my sister about something, and Auntie Tiffany, I want you to play with me. Like, and we were playing soccer for what, maybe 45 minutes, we're passing the ball
Oh,
around.
bless
He was
him.
doing a drag back. I said, what?
What?
Where you learn
How
that
old is
from?
he?
He's 4.
What? Oh my, I'm ashamed of myself. I'm happy for the little man, but I'm ashamed of myself. I can't do that. I can't even do keepy uppies. I'm an embarrassment when it comes to football. But
He's
that's
gonna be a
he
baller.
looks at he- I pray to God that he is. He's looking at you like, you're his hero. I'm pretty sure he probably goes to like little like preschool or nursery and like shows off like, yeah, what's your auntie like? My auntie went to the World Cup, not one but two. Stunting on his little friends.
Yeah, it was funny. I gave him one of my jerseys, and he was like, he looked at it, he was so happy. He's like, but Auntie Tiffany, isn't this for you? Don't you need this to play? I said, yeah. Andy Tiffany has a lot of jerseys, but this one's for you. For when you're bigger, you can wear it. He's like,
Bless
thank
him.
you. He was so cute.
Oh my God, bless
Precious.
him, bless him. I hope little man grows up to be a great success. I hope that he grows up with good health. That's the main thing. Because if you don't have good health, you're totally defeated. So I hope that he has good health and great success.
Thank
How
you.
do you balance the two though, Tiffany? I think you're one of the players there. No, I'm not just gonna say Reggae Girls. I'm just gonna say Jamaica in general. You're one of the national players who get the two balance perfect in terms of, yes, we know that you're born in Canada, but you seem to pay homage equally to Canada and Jamaica. How do you do it?
Well, my mom has always embraced me into the Jamaican culture from when I was little, So I think that's super important. Even before I was a reggae girl, I've always been instilled in that culture, the music as well too. And I don't know if you probably see I'm always playing ludi and stuff. I got my ludi board here. I actually was playing with my friend just before you before we connected. I
I
think that's
see the
important.
lady board. I'm so sorry to interject, but I'm like, how does she get that through customs? I'm like, let me mind my business because I don't even know how.
Hey, I found a way. When I brought it to Hungary, I had it there for like a year. But I told myself, I said it's gonna be too much to try and bring it to Spain. Like I just, I kept it home. But I've been playing a lot of ludi since I've been home, so I'll be good while while I'm away.
Nice, nice. No
But
dominoes?
yeah, no, I dominoes here and there. But I'm ludi is my game. If we're gonna say if I have a Jamaican game, it's ludi for sure.
Okay, mine is dominoes. So yeah, I prefer dominoes.
Okay.
You seem to have a lot of love there in the comment section as you were speaking. I was bringing up some comments. I don't know if you managed to read any of them, but you're definitely a fan favorite without a shadow of doubt. How does that feel knowing that the fans gravitate towards you as well as they do?
That feels good. I even though I'm doing what I'm doing, I really believe in everyone is equal. And sometimes people will reach out to me and say some really kind word, or they'll just say, I hope you're doing well. And I'll respond and they'll be so shocked. Like I have time for everyone, especially I'm a true believer on spreading love and also giving support and showing people that, we're all human and everyone matters, everyone has a voice. So anytime like a fan reaches out to me or says things, I want to acknowledge them. I think that's super important.
I
Maybe I
like
might
that.
not have like a full
I
blown
like
conversation with them because there's been times where fans have wanted to legit be like my friend and like talk every day, and I can't do that for everybody. And I'll explain. I'll say, hey, yeah, I've used my platform for business purposes and also showing some love back to fans, but I'm not necessarily looking for a deep friendship right now. I have a lot of friends. Sometimes I have to break it down like that, but like I always still have to
that
show
is
them love.
funny.
No, but
That
that's the
is
thing.
that
Like,
that is funny and awkward at the same time. Guys, if you're doing it,
I
please
mean,
stop. You touched on something that was quite important, and I think it would be rude not to dive into it. Maybe not a deep dive, but to maybe scratch the surface a bit. You spoke on positivity and love from the fans. If you are comfortable with answering the question, if you want to buy for you to do that, but how do you feel when it's the reverse of that, when it's not love and when it's negativity and when it seems like a bit of character assassination where your names or the names of your teammates is being unfairly dragged to the mud? How do you deal with that, because you're very active on socials?
yeah, I mean, there was a time, what was it, last year, with everything that was going on with our team and the federation, and there was a lot of negative backlash. There was also positive things that were said, and it was very difficult for me. I even had to put a message out on my story and say that like right now is not a good time. Like I don't want to talk to media or whatever the case was, and it was tough because sometimes people would message me because they wanted to get information out of me about how I feel about what's going on with the federation. And, it was inappropriate for me to comment on that. So I would just either leave them on red or I would say, you know what, I can't speak about this. And sometimes things were negative, like things were, and I had to just try my best to block it off. But it actually really hurt my heart with the whole situation, and that I couldn't sometimes go and represent Jamaica just because of everything that was going on, But it in life, that's what happens. Not everything is going to go your way. You just have to learn how to deal with when things get tough, and then reach out to the people that you love and who understand you and talk about things. Not everyone needs to know about how you're feeling, in a specific time, but that's why for me it was important for me to reach out to the people that I love the most, who would be there for me and understand me and support me in the way that I needed to get through those times. So anytime I see anything negative, then that's like I go to the people that support me and love me, and I talk to them about it. I can't control. The thing is, in life, not everyone is going to like me or love me. So it's
100%.
that's the thing. But I also think that a lot of people fear people that are authentic or who will speak their mind about something. And I know for me, I'm put on this earth. God made me to speak and also love and support people. And if something's not right, I'm going to talk about it. Depends on also my hierarchy on a team as well too. So sometimes I've had to like just stay quiet for like about certain things that I would love to talk about, but it's one of those things, I just have to um be intelligent about everything. As a public figure, it's important to know when to speak, and it's important to know when to not speak.
I love the last response that you said, because I kid you not, this is something that I've said to the guys on my live stream, that you cannot expect every single player to speak on controversy or to give you an honest opinion,
Mm,
because I'm not going to scapegoat our captain, but of course our captain is our captain. She has to take the bullet by default. If you catch her at the game on your BBC Sport and you go up to her and you ask her a controversial question, 9 out of 10
mm,
times she's going to answer it, because she is the captain. She's
yeah,
also now a
absolutely.
two times. I'm not saying that our captain isn't droppable, but it's Khadija Bunny Shaw at the end of the day. You cannot treat Bunny in the way that you would treat the majority of her teammates, because it's like self-sabotage. And I think some journalists, and I'm going to say traditional media and also new media, sometimes some of you are extremely selfish people. You got to understand, when you're dealing with these athletes, and let's just focus on the Reggae Girls, that they are human beings. Don't be so selfish with wanting to get a storyline that you're going to ask
Mm,
them questions. Yeah, because I've seen it and it really pisses me off. You're asking them questions because you want clicks, you want the storyline, but you're not thinking about them and human beings and
yeah,
the consequences that will follow. I wouldn't dare ask certain Reggae Girls
yeah,
about internal affairs with the Jamaican national team, because I know that's it. You're getting dropped like bad habit. You're not coming back in
mm,
that team. So I
yeah,
can't tell people how to run their traditional media organization. But what I am saying is, look at these girls like they're your daughters or your nieces, and ask
absolutely.
yourself, would you do it if it was if you would you like if someone to treat them the way that you treat them? They're not clicks. They're not clicks.
Yeah,
They're human beings. All right. I
absolutely,
just want to get that off
absolutely.
my chest,
And
Tiffany.
and we know as athletes, like we're very intelligent women, so we know when a person is actually reaching out to see how we're doing genuinely, versus a person reaching out because they want a story. Because there have been times where someone just was like, "Hey, Tiff," and I'm like, "Hey, I hope you're doing well," and then they'd ask me a question, a controversial question, and I'm like, "I can't answer that right now. Sorry, I'm focused with my club right now. I can't answer that." Like, so it's like that was hurtful as well too, because at the end of the day, we're human beings, and like we need to be treated like them. We're not. It's not all about football. There's like we have our life as well too, and that we have to deal with it. There's a lot of things. So, I think it's really important to focus on the human first and then the athlete. But a lot of times it's the reverse, which is the hard part, you know? So I really do also encourage athletes as well to speak to sports psychologists as well too, because that's important, because sometimes it gets a lot. It gets a lot to handle. And I actually want
Yeah.
to shout out Nicholas. He used to actually work with the Jamaican Football Federation, and he's a fantastic sports psychologist. I've worked with him a couple times as well too. And some people ask about how am I so happy and I have my vibes and stuff, because I take care of myself. I understand when maybe my vibrations are a little bit lower and I need a little bit of like a pick me up, then that's when I'll go talk to a sports psychologist about things. I want to discover maybe why there's a certain part in my game or a certain part in my psyche that might be holding me back, but I'm always aware of when I need a little bit of a boost. So that's why it's so important for athletes to keep those healthy habits and be aware of when they need to ask for help, because it's not always easy. So, yeah, like just people need to take care of themselves more, man. Like
100%. Like, and you heard her, people. So obviously she's referring to us normal folks outside of being athletes. Do you guys have a sports psychologist? Do you still have a sports psychologist?
Currently right now working with the Jamaican national team, no, but I'm sure that will come again. Like I think we just have to be very patient with that. Because it's
True.
very, very important. It's super, super important. So I mean, I can't really, I've said that I think it would be great for our team to have that, but it's not on me, right? So it just has to do with if say the coaching staff and the federation can make it happen or not, and then just go from there. But at the end of the day, it's still our responsibilities as athletes. If say maybe we're not provided with certain things, to get it ourselves. If we really feel like we need it during a certain time of our career, then we just have to be proactive about that. So, that's my honest opinion about it.
I can appreciate your honesty. I think just like you said, it's probably something that the JFF are working on. I think if they don't know the importance of it, hearing someone like you speak so eloquently and so passionately will prompt them to actually say, okay, let's go ahead and get it done. If it doesn't get done, obviously we're not going to make a fuss and a loud noise about it, but we are going to politely request that the girls get their sports psychologist, because it does have a positive impact on them. And if you want them to make it a hat trick of work of their parents, then get them their sports psychologist. Get if it's any team to give it to, it definitely will be you and your teammates.
Yeah,
I want to ask you no, carry on. I interjected.
Yeah,
carry on.
we're really strong women, even though maybe we didn't have a sports psychologist the entire time throughout like our time with Jamaica. We still have managed to make things work, and I'm a strong believer in God. We have our own little prayer group with the national team, and before every game we get together. Whoever is open to doing that, they'll come to the prayer group. We'll talk about how we're feeling. We'll say, Kayla actually leads it. Kayla McKenna, she's an amazing person and player. I really highly respect her, like big time. And she's also crushed it in Spain. She did so well last season. So she leads the prayer group. Yeah, she leads the prayer group, and she sometimes will come with a scripture and then ask us what we think about the scripture, and then we talk about our experiences in life as well, and with soccer, and then we just end with a prayer and stuff. It's so powerful, and I really do think that God is in all of us. Even the players that don't come to prayer group, he's in all of us, and he lives in all of us, and you can see it on the field. No matter what happens, even that we were able to do things that people thought that were impossible. Like to make it to the round of 16 is crazy. So yeah.
Definitely. By the way, guys, this live stream, this interview that I'm doing or chat that I'm having with Tiffany is completely unplanned. It just literally was like a spur of the moment type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep up with her, but I'm kind of struggling, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm also wary of her time, because I think she was only supposed to give us 10 minutes. I will be doing an actual sit down with Tiffany Cameron at some point this season. So don't worry. Even if we bring today's chat to an end, it's not an abrupt end. We will be getting a deep dive into Tiffany. I want to ask you a important question because I'm very big on like
Okay.
mental well-being and what people say online. A
Okay.
reggae girl sent me, we was having a conversation actually. We was having a conversation and she told me something that this was maybe 2 years ago now, but it still lives fresh in my mind. And it lives fresh in my mind because it is so disturbing. Basically, we were having a chat and she spoke about something that a fan said to her. And I think it was before the second World Cup cycle, and this fan had the audacity to make a horrendous comment pertaining to what they would do to the Reggae Girls' unborn child. I'm not going to get into it because it's probably triggering for most people, and or any ordinary people will feel some type of way. But if you can share it, even if you don't want to go too deep, like what's like one of the worst comment that someone has said to you, and how did that make you feel? Because I'm asking you because I'm trying to show people that the things that you say online, it does matter. They are human beings. They do see and read what you say. So do be mindful of the messages that you're sending to these girls. What's a joke to you is not a joke to someone else.
True, true. I mean, that's very difficult to answer. I mean, people have commented on maybe if I didn't have the best performance, maybe they commented on that. But the word, like, I don't. It's hard for me to say. I would say maybe like commenting on my skin, like what happened to my skin. Maybe that like I've heard
Really?
some random like. Well, I've seen some random comment, but it's interesting because it's just like, okay, ha ha ha, that's really funny, but not really. Like, it's not funny actually, but it's like, it's
Not
not really
funny. It's
hurtful
it's
because I'm
it's
like,
never
well,
ever 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 funny.
yeah, but I think they think it's funny. Like I've seen some comments that are just so silly, you know, but I don't like, it doesn't affect me in that way because I'm very confident in who I am and like my outer appearance and my inner appearance. At first, of course, when I developed my vitiligo, it took me a long time. It took me maybe 2 years to really get confident in the new version of me. But I ended up falling in love with that. So, and I also think
As
that
you should.
this happened to me for a reason. I'm strong enough. Like God believed that I was strong enough to put me in this situation to be an advocate. So, for example, I'm the first female vitiligo professional soccer player in EA Sports. I should say the first female
Yeah.
ever in EA Sports to have vitiligo to represent that community, and that's huge. You know how many messages that I got on Instagram about like how they're so happy to see this, and I'm an inspiration and all these things, and I'm like, this is amazing. I have to remind time I see
You guys see
any like
Tiffany, or is it? I think I lost you there for a second. You can continue, Tiff.
yeah, so it's about my skin. I just laugh because I'm like, well, at least I'm unique enough to be on a big platform and show that. So if someone wants to hate on that I look a little bit different, like that's on them, but I'm still gonna be out here doing my thing, like shining and being unique and also representing for the vitiligo community because there's a lot of people out there who also do have vitiligo as well. So, if I'm able to uplift
Yeah, yeah.
people who have my skin condition, that's amazing. I'm an advocate and I think that's really special.
Yeah, I definitely 100% agree with what you're saying. I'm fortunate to know two people who shares the same uniqueness that you share. And with regards to both
Mm,
of all three of you, beautiful inside and out, by the way. And with regards to those
thank
little
you.
peasants on social media, I want you to know that you are like, yeah, little peasants. I can't stand them. Sometimes I argue with them, Tiff, because I'm like, as one of the only
Yeah.
visible women on YouTube, I can't afford for you to treat me like a doormat, because if I lay down and allow you to walk over me, you're going to do it to the next person that's coming up after me. And I don't want that, you know. Football is heavily sexist when you're a woman. It's even worse when you're a black woman and you're young. So I do sometimes fight back with them. But saying that to say, I do want you to know that you are beautiful inside and out. And also, as it relates to these little peasants, they are saying these things because I do believe that they have nothing better to do with their lives. They're a bunch of low lives. Yeah, they have nothing better to do with their time. So of course, they see you. They are going to pick on you, but I do want you to just continue to know that you're a ray of light. For not the few, but the many.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I see the guys there in the comment section. I've probably got maybe 5 more minutes with Tiffany, guys. As I said, we're going to extend the interview on another show. So I'm gonna just take a quick little glimpse in the comment section. Bear with me, Tiff.
Blessing, Dan. I love you, Massive. Love you guys too. Support and love. Oh, and also, you guys need to follow, if you haven't already, you need to follow my new Instagram page, because as you know, I was hacked. So for 2 months, I didn't have any access to my other page. Shut down, which is nice. So my new Instagram, if you guys haven't already followed me, is Tiffany D, as in Devana, Cameron _. So, and you can even just put Tiffany Cameron in on Instagram, and then I'll pop up there. So that's my new page. I did not block any of you followers if you thought, oh, what happened to Tiffany? Because the page got shut down because it was used for some hacker took over and was scamming my followers and stuff. Well, trying to scam my followers with the trading
peasants,
nonsense.
little peasants on social media.
Nonsense. No, hold on, Crystal. The best was when someone was like, so the hacker put, what's called? I was skeptical of trading at first. Stop. When I saw that, I said, I'm going to the police station round. Full-blown report. I said, I need to talk to the boy them, because they need to know, like, this page needs to get shut down now. Ahora.
You know, someone tried to scam me today.
5 days later, gone. No ramp with me. No ramp with me.
See, sometimes as a woman, you have to be militant with these guys. They force it out of you. You want to be calm, but they force the badness out of you. As you can see with Tiffany there. So in the UK, Cash App is closing down. So I already had to like withdraw my my money from my Cash App. My dad sent me some money some years back, and I forgot to like withdraw it. So eventually, 2 weeks ago, I withdrew it. And a scammer called me today, and he was asking for my personal details because apparently it comes from Cash App. So I'm thinking, if you work for Cash App, you know my details already, right? So I was like, yeah, I don't have Cash App. He was like, oh, okay. And he went on to like elaborate, and I just hung the phone up. I was like, I don't have time for your foolishness. So there are scammers out there, guys. Be aware, okay? Be aware of that. Tiffany, yeah, I noticed. But you took the words out of my mouth. You have a game coming up, away match, this Saturday, but you're going to be missing out on that one, I presume. What's that like? Because you've missed out on pre-season. How do you condition yourself so that you bring yourself back up to speed?
Condition coach, he sent me a whole plan. So what he wants me to do in the meantime. So in the gym, and then also some ball work and stuff. So I've been following that. I've also added a couple of things like for myself that I personally need. So that's how I've been kind of keeping fit, you know. And I'm big on bike workouts. I don't know. I actually prefer doing cycling than actually running on a treadmill. So it's better, actually. It's better for your limbs. So that's what I've been doing. But at the end of the day, though, game fitness is different, right? So when I go there, I'm going to need a couple of weeks of training to really get back to game speed. So I'm not expecting to go there next week and starting right away. It's going to take a couple of weeks up for me to so it's one of those things where I have to be very patient because of course the girls have been training now for like what a month and a half or so, or a month and a bit in preseason. So and I've unfortunately missed that, so I just have to be patient with
Absolutely.
everything, and my coach knows what I can do. So
Absolutely. And my closing question, because I know I'm pressed for time. Sorry guys, I lied to you, but it's a good lie. It's a white lie, as they like to call it. I don't know why they call it that. I've gone over my well, I call it be a black lie. Like it's gone over 1 hour, guys. It's 1 hour and 15 minutes. So I do apologize. But I want to ask before we close off pertaining to last season performances, how do you stay on the bright side of life when you're fighting for relegation and also you're trying to impress a new coach or a new manager?
Well, it's about communication, letting my teammates know what I need on the field and how I can shine, and also asking questions like to them and seeing what brings good performances out from them. So I think for me using my voice has really helped me get to where I am now. So just the level of understanding. I think the second half of the season went a lot better for me than the first half, and I just kind of showed my qualities there and just communicating with my coach and stuff as well too, and just getting clarity. I think that's really important, and making sure I just do the extra things. So if I need a little bit of fine tuning with certain things, do a little bit of extra. So I also want to do more. I think this season, I think I could be out more on the field and doing a little bit more for myself, so I can score more goals and be a bigger threat than last season.
You got your do you have your goal target for this year? You don't have to say it if you don't want to, but you must have something in mind, right?
Yeah, I want to score double the amount of goals I scored last season.
Oh, she
Or at
actually
least at
saying
least
it. I
get
like
into the
this. I like
yeah,
this.
or at least get in the double digits. I mean, I scored 6. It would be scored 12. I mean, if I get 10, I'll be happy with that. But I think in terms of what I'm doing and the amount of opportunities that I started to get myself into the second half of season, it's very realistic for me to say that I'm capable of scoring that many goals. And I think our team is better as well too. We have better players that just came in, like newer players. So it's possible. I just have to be focused. And yeah, I'm not afraid to put things out there. When you set a goal, maybe you might not get there, but just putting it out there to the world is
Putting it into
powerful,
the
and it shows
world.
that you have no fear. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm confident that I have the capabilities to do that. But I just have to stay focused. So that's the most important thing.
Do you know what it is? You've just added yourself onto a list. So the list that I was asking you guys to answer, you guys still have not answered it. Now I'm going to ask you, what does Miss Tiffany Cameron, Ivan Toney, Mr. Shaman Nicholson, and Eddie and Kitty are all have in common? They've got a trait in common that I've picked up on, guys. I know the answer. I'm going to keep it to myself. I want you guys to tell me. By the way, it's something good. You need this trait. To be successful, you need this trait. To elevate yourself to different levels, you need the trait. I think you can see some similarities there in terms of, it's so funny, in terms of Ivan Toney, Tiffany Cameron, and Boza, the trajectory of their career and the fact that they've gone from level to level to level, they've leveled up. They've got one trait in common. Eddie and Kitty has that trait as well. I'm gonna allow you guys to
Yeah.
vote, and maybe on another live stream, I will give you guys the answer. I'm not going to give you the answer on tonight's live stream, though. Tiffany, before we close off, do you have any closing words?
I actually want to congratulate Bunny Shaw. She has had an amazing past year. The fact that she's the nominee for the Ballon d'Or is huge. I mean, she's an inspiration for all of Jamaica. She's an inspiration for me. And I just think that, you know, when for her, she's so powerful. When she sets her mind to something, she does it. Even when she walks into the room, like her presence is there. She's like, yeah, me are the star. You know, she knows what time it is, and she also sets a high standard for the Jamaican culture. And even when we're in training, she knows if something's not good enough, she'll say, "This is not good enough, guys." And that's so good because you see a player like her thriving in a professional environment. And at the end of the day, she's a black woman, right? She's a black woman playing in a European country, and to see her doing what she's doing right now is really special. So I do want to big her up,
Massive.
and you know, a lot of young girls in Jamaica are looking up to her, and yeah, I just think that she's just gonna keep elevating from here. So I definitely want to shout her out, and also shout out the rest of the Reggae girls as well too that are doing really well with their university teams, and also in their professional environments. We have a lot of different players playing around the world now, which is great. It's making the environment more competitive, and Jamaica will be better because of that. It's frozen now.
Lovely.
It's frozen. Yeah, you lost me.
Yeah. I don't up beautifully well. Am I frozen? Can you hear me?
Now you're back now.
You can hear me, guys,
You're
in the
back
comment
now.
section. Am I back? I think I was having a bit of internet issues there. I was gonna change the internet again. Actually, Tiffany, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Don't move. Just stay there. I'm just gonna change my internet connection quickly. I think this is gonna improve it. I just want to make sure I have you on screen before I close off. So please don't move, okay?
Okay.
We are so appreciative of our Reggae Girls Golden Generation. They are delivering when asked. It's not like the golden generation of the men's England's national teams. They seem like they're allergic to success. But I'll let that be their problem. But the Reggae Girls, they keep on delivering back-to-back World Cup appearances on the trot, guys. The round of 16, they went to the knockout stages at the last women's World Cup, which took place in Australia and New Zealand. Long may the success of the Reggae Girls continue. I just want to say, if you don't know already, Tiffany, we as the 12th man appreciate you all so much. Thank you, and to you and your teammates for waving the black, gold, and green flag high. Thank you for giving
Thank
us
you.
something to cheer about. I'm so happy that for the last 2 World Cups, I haven't had to
Absolutely.
sit here. Yeah, I mean, I don't have to sit here and support another country forcefully. I can actually support my country because they're at the World Cup, and that's all thanks to you and your teammates. So big up yourself.
Big up to you. Thank you for also having me on your channel. It's been a long time, but we get like this though. When we start talking, we start going.
That's what I'm
You know,
saying. It's
so
like, you know what, Tiffany?
so yeah.
Before
Thank you.
you
Thanks for
came
having
on,
me.
No, man, it's more than welcome. Thank you for putting yourself up. Guys, for context, I asked Tiffany for a voice note to play to you guys, and she's like, no, scratch the voice note. I'm coming onto the channel. So if you don't know about Tiffany, that's the type of person she is. And I'm very appreciative of that. I've gone to almost 1 hour and 30 minutes, probably my second longest live stream since I've come back. Definitely one of my longest live stream with a special guest like a Reggae Girl. You guys there in the comment section, I am going to have to love you and leave you because I am on 3% with my battery. My laptop's about to die. So guys, we talk too much, but it's good talk. It's good talk, Tiffany. It's not bad talk, you know? So guys, guys in the comment section, before I forget my manners, if you're out and about on your journey, I pray to God that you make it home safe and unharmed. Big up the guys there in the comment section. I'm so sorry that I don't have time to name you. Yeah, I hope you get home safe. I don't have time to name you all, but I am because I'm 15 goals. They say you can get 15 goals, yeah? I like that. Just off the top of my head, because I'm just seeing them now. Do go ahead.
We'll see. Pressure.
You guys there, please do go ahead and subscribe to CC Sports Lab. Also subscribe to Cronky Live. Subscribe to Eddie Gooner as well. Elite Sports TV. You guys are already familiar with Elite Sports TV. Do subscribe to those guys. I've seen a fellow of the some of the subscribers in terms of content creators in the comment section. So if you haven't subscribed to their channel, do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Mr. Wayne Evans, I'm really sorry you've missed the show, guys. I'm going to have to love you and leave you before our battery dies. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's live stream. Big up yourself, Tiffany. Thank you for showing my program some love. I definitely appreciate your support each and every time.
No problem. Blessings. Thanks, Crystal. It's been real.
No problem. All right, guys. You know how it goes. Let me go and try and find my closing video actually before I log off. You know how it goes, guys. Until next time, take care.
I'm John Barnes, and you're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.